interesting how the right is so interested in things like misogyny and how female politicians are treated now, because I well remember, and now I'm not saying it was Brooke Van Velden, but it was females from the right when they were talking about Jacinda Ardern going, oh, it's not too bad for me, that sort of thing. But I want to remind people that was very much, for fairness, Nicola Willis has always kind of called out what she said. She's called it out. But I just want to remind people, what date is this? This is January of last year. Okay, January of last year. And this is the now Prime Minister kind of pushing back against, maybe it's not about, the abuse is not about women. And then obviously, I suspect maybe some of the women in his cabinet got to him and said, yeah, you better pull your head in. And he does. But this was the origin story. This is the original thoughts of Christopher Luxon about, is there such a thing as misogyny?
It's right now. Bit of a thing yesterday with old Jacinda. That was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it was a shock.
I don't blame her. Not everyone was gassed for the Nats. This woman pulling the fingers, yelling, "National sucks." A middle finger much less threatening than the misogynistic abuse Jacinda Ardern received.
Did that play any role in your decision to walk away?
No, it did not. And my strong message to women in leadership and girls who may be considering leadership in the future, this is a place where foundation is being laid long before me to make it possible for us to be in these roles.
While Jacinda Ardern denies that the mass of misogynistic vitriol levelled at her fed into her decision to quit, it was prolific. Not that the national leader would acknowledge that this morning, telling Radio New Zealand it was about politics, not personality.
Do you think it is different for women, for female politicians?
Look, I'm not sure about that. I think, what we're trying to make sure is that the country, you've seen other countries around the world where you actually get this just deep polarization of political views.
He should know better.
So this is important. I'm going to play it again because he does change his tune, but I always think it's important to get like the origin story of someone. So 18 months ago, when asked, do women in the public eye get it, harder than men do, his basic response was, don't think so, right? So this is his core belief that then got massaged by whatever PR company, and we'll see that before the end of the clip.
Do you think it is different for women, for female politicians?
Look, I'm not sure about that. I think, what we're trying to make sure is that the country, you've seen other countries around the world where you actually get this just deep polarization of political views.
He should know better. He's talked about being a role model in his own conduct. He could role model being a support for women and challenging and calling out that behaviour and saying it's not okay.
Mere hours later, Luxon walked back his comments.
I think there is an element of gendered abuse that happens with female politicians.
What's just so grating about this for me is at no point does he kind of go, oh, guys, look, I've had to think about it, and this morning I got it wrong. This is your absolute politician on talking points. He said what he believed, and then he said the opposite hours later without any reflection on what he'd said that morning, without any apology. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry this morning. I've evolved. I've had a chat with a few people and I was wrong. That part of the conversation never happened. He just went, da, 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 da. I don't think so. Oh, women, they have a really hard time. It's the ugliest part of politics. So this is his road to Damascus, talking of come to Jesus, his road to Damascus experience. And all of a sudden, he's woke.
Okay.
Mere hours later, Luxon walked back his comments.
I think there is an element of gendered abuse that happens with female politicians that is different from what we experience as men, I think.
Us men need to stand up and address it. It shouldn't be left to women to have to defend misogynist and sexist attacks on their own.
Luxon's deputy Nicola Willis isn't spared from the misogyny.
I think it's worst for me when people call into question my ability to be a good mother. That hurts.
There's no doubt about it. Yep, women get more gendered vilification, particularly online.
So the afternoon, did you hear the sentence? There's no doubt about it. That sounds like someone who has held this honest held belief for a long time. They know the research, they're aware of it. Oh, but a few hours ago it was like, yeah, I'm not sure about that. And then there's no doubt about it. Like I applaud people for evolving.
Hours
Yeah.
ago.
I applaud people for evolving, and I actually applaud Luxon for having the correct position now, but still just the disingenuous nature of why he's got there, and no self-reflection at all. Remember, this was his original thoughts prior to being Prime Minister.
My ability to be a good mother. That hurts.
There's no doubt about it. Yep, women get more gendered vilification, particularly online.
Something Luxon should have known and acknowledged immediately.